Coffee vs tea. Which is better? Hello everyone, and welcome to our new series called Better. In this series, we are going to take two things that are both commonly consumed and compare them head to head, looking at everything from their health benefits to their cultural significance. And then we'll crown one of them as the clear winner. Now, before we begin, I want to stress that the goal of this video is not to tell you which drink is objectively better. It's impossible, and really doesn't matter anyway. Rather, my aim is simply to help you learn about each drink, how they affect your body, and what they do for you, so that you can decide for yourself which one is best for you. So without further ado, let's get into it. Coffee vs tea. Round 1. Caffeine content. If you're looking for a pick-me-up, there's no contest here. Coffee has more than twice the caffeine per kilogram than tea, thanks to how much caffeine is present in the coffee beans themselves. Now, this is just talking about natural sources of caffeine, meaning caffeine found naturally in food rather than added caffeine like that found in certain medications. We'll talk more about added caffeine later. For now, if you want to compare coffee versus tea with natural amounts of caffeine only, coffee wins round 1 by knockout. Round 2, health benefits when it comes to health benefits. Both coffee and tea have quite a lot to offer thanks to all the antioxidants they contain. Antioxidants are beneficial compounds that protect your cells from free radicals, which are unstable atoms that can cause damage in your body. This damage is known as oxidative stress and has been linked to a number of chronic diseases. Studies show that both coffee and tea are great at reducing oxidative stress due to the amount of antioxidants they contain. With tea having a slight edge over coffee in this regard, however, that's not where the similarities end. Coffee drinkers may be pleased to hear that several studies have linked moderate coffee consumption to a lower risk of serious conditions such as type 2 diabetes, Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, and certain cancers. Meanwhile, those who prefer tea may be happy to hear that studies have also linked moderate tea consumption to a lower risk of developing heart disease, stroke, and certain cancers, too. What's more, coffee and tea also seem to have similar effects on metabolism. Several studies have concluded that both coffee and tea increase metabolic rate by a similar amount. This means that while drinking either beverage won't automatically lead to weight loss, they can both help boost the number of calories you burn. So who's the winner of this round? Well, it's a draw. Both tea and coffee have many health benefits and seem to have similar effects when it comes to improving your metabolism. So it's up to you to decide which, if any of these drinks, you want to incorporate into your daily routine. Round 3. Taste and variety. While both coffee and tea are beloved around the world by billions of people, there are some significant differences between them when it comes to taste and variety. Coffee tends to be bitter with some fruity or chocolatey notes depending on the roast. It also tends to be more full-bodied than tea, which tends to be more delicate and nuanced in its flavor profile. However, tea has one major advantage in this department: variety. There are many different types of tea, including black, white, oolong, green, herbal, and more, each with their own unique flavor profile and health benefits. Coffee, on the other hand, doesn't have as much variety. There are some minor differences between light and dark roasts, but overall the flavor profile remains fairly consistent. So which one tastes better? Well, that's completely subjective and depends on your personal preferences. However, if variety is what you're after, then tea is clearly the winner here. Round 4. Preparation and enjoyment. Both coffee and tea are fairly easy to prepare, but they do require slightly different techniques. Brewing tea is relatively simple and only requires boiling water and steeping the tea leaves for a certain amount of time. Different types of tea require different steeping times and temperatures, but overall it's a pretty straightforward process. Meanwhile, brewing coffee is a bit more involved and requires more specialized equipment, such as a grinder and a brewing machine. The process of grinding the beans, heating the water, and brewing the coffee requires more time and attention than does brewing tea. That said, there's something special about the ritual of preparing and drinking coffee that many people enjoy. The process of measuring out the grounds, heating the water, and watching the coffee drip into the pot can be a meditative experience. Similarly, the ritual of preparing and drinking tea can be relaxing and enjoyable too. The process of steeping the tea and the gentle heat of the mug in your hands can be a soothing experience. Ultimately, both coffee and tea can be enjoyed in a variety of ways, and both have their own unique preparation rituals. But if you're looking for something that's even easier to prepare, tea takes the cake here. Round 5. Cost and accessibility in terms of cost. Coffee is generally more expensive than tea, especially if you're buying specialty coffee. A cup of coffee at Starbucks, for example, costs around $5. While a cup of tea costs around $2, that's not to say that good quality tea is unpricey, because it certainly can be. But in general, tea is less expensive than coffee. When it comes to accessibility, both coffee and tea are widely available around the world. However, coffee is generally more popular and more widely consumed than tea, which means that it's often easier to find coffee shops and cafes than tea rooms. That said, tea is becoming more popular in recent years, so it's becoming easier to find high-quality tea shops and tea rooms in many cities. Overall, tea is less expensive than coffee and is becoming more accessible all the time, making it the clear winner in this round. Round 6. Social aspects. Coffee and tea both have rich social histories and are often enjoyed in social settings. Coffee houses and tea rooms are popular places to meet friends, have a business meeting, or simply relax and enjoy a good drink. That said, coffee has more of a reputation for being a social drink. Many people think of coffee houses as places to meet and socialize, while tea rooms are more often seen as places to go for a quiet, relaxing experience. So which one is better in this department? Well, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a place to socialize and meet new people, then coffee may be the better choice. However, if you're looking for a place to relax and unwind, then tea may be the better option. Round 7. Added caffeine. As mentioned earlier, both coffee and tea contain natural amounts of caffeine. However, many people also consume added caffeine, usually in the form of energy drinks, sodas, and certain medications. Energy drinks and sodas often contain high levels of added caffeine, sometimes as much as 500 milligrams per serving. Medications such as Excedrin and some diet pills also contain added caffeine. This raises an important question. How much caffeine is too much? According to the FDA, healthy adults should limit their caffeine intake to 400 milligrams per day, or about the amount found in 4 cups of brewed coffee. Consuming more than this can lead to caffeine intoxication, which can cause symptoms such as restlessness, anxiety, insomnia, palpitations, muscle breakdown, and even seizures. Keep in mind that the caffeine content of coffee and tea can vary depending on how they are prepared. For example, espresso has more caffeine per ounce than brewed coffee, while a cup of tea has less caffeine than the same amount of coffee. Caffeine can have a number of negative effects on the body, including increased blood pressure, anxiety, and insomnia. It can also be addictive, causing withdrawal symptoms such as headaches, fatigue, and irritability when you try to quit. So which one is better in this regard? Well, neither coffee nor tea is inherently worse than the other when it comes to added caffeine. It all depends on how much caffeine you're consuming overall. If you're having multiple cups of coffee and energy drinks every day, you may want to cut back on the added caffeine. And there you have it, a comprehensive look at coffee versus tea. Ultimately, there is no clear winner in this matchup, as both beverages have their own unique set of benefits and drawbacks. It all comes down to personal preference. Personally, I love both coffee and tea and enjoy them for their unique flavors and the different experiences they offer. What about you? Which one do you prefer and why? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave us a like and subscribe for more fun videos like this one. Thanks for watching.